Welcome back to the Global Youth Leaders Summit.
Hilary, I know that you joined the Institute's RISE Youth Leadership Program last semester. And how was it?
It is the best program, and it has to be one of the most unforgettable experiences for me during my university life. After a series of trainings and workshops, the RISE program brought us to Seoul and Mokpo in South Korea for both cultural and socio-economical education and service. We had the chance to interact with Korean children and elderly and serve with the local students from different universities. We really looked into the true colors of South Korea.
As for me, I have joined the Seoul Youth Leadership Program, which is a one-year credit-bearing program jointly organized by PolyU and Peking University. Through the trips and meetings, I have developed and grown my responsibility, serving heart, aspiration, and open-mindedness. It is really an unforgettable experience for me, and I'm thankful to be part of the program. So, in any way, my program is better than yours.
Okay. Actually, the Institute has been offering very impactful and reflective programs for students of PolyU and other overseas universities. So to enlighten us to be a global service leader of tomorrow. For example, me.
Oh, well. To commence the official launch of the Institute, may I invite Professor Timothy Tong, President of PolyU, to deliver the congratulatory speech. Professor Tong, please.
Professor Hao Li, distinguished guests, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's great to join all of you here. First of all, let me extend a very warm welcome to Professor Hao Li, who's been a friend for quite a number of years. I was at another event this morning, so I did not hear Professor Hao Li's excellent speech. But hearing from quite a number of you, I understand that many of you were very excited in hearing the speech from Professor Hao Li. So let me take this opportunity to first thank Professor Hao Li. Let's give him a round of applause. Okay. Thank you. And I'm afraid, since I follow Professor Hao Li, this is going to be a little bit anticlimactic. But bear with me, okay? Professor Li is really renowned for his pioneering initiatives in using global value chain innovations to serve the poor in developing countries, including Africa and Nepal. I'm sure the participants, especially the young students, benefited greatly from hearing Professor Li's insight. Young people are our future. I don't think you would argue with me on that. And that's why our society is putting enormous resources in education and youth development. I have, on many occasions, shared with the audience that PolyU aims to provide to our students a holistic education. Our emphasis to nurture students to become not only competent professionals, but also caring members of society. We believe our future depends very much on the core quality of young people, whether they live their lives with passion, whether they are able to make positive and constructive contributions to society, to bring benefits and improve people's lives. In 2012, when Hong Kong's higher education system changed to a 4-year undergraduate curriculum, we made use of the opportunity to restructure the curriculum, establishing programs that facilitate whole person development. In this new curriculum, a major initiative was to launch a mandatory credit-bearing service learning program. This program connects professional education with societal needs. providing students with the exposure to complex social issues and the opportunity to make use of their knowledge to improve the quality of life for the less fortunate. In addition to bringing positive changes to society, many students have found service learning to be a life-changing experience, helping them nurture a strong sense of social responsibility. I still recall that in year 2014, I went to Cambodia to witness 80 of our students engaging in service learning projects. And without going into the details, let me tell you that one thing that struck me the most was that after I landed, among the 80 students who were there, I learned that a dozen of them actually went to Cambodia the year before and did their service learning project. So they have completed the requirement already. But they found that what they did was so meaningful. They went back the following summer on their own money, on their own time, just to continue their work. So I do believe that it is a life-changing experience for many, many of our students. But another major initiative in our new undergraduate curriculum is to develop leadership programs for nurturing leaders of tomorrow. And for greater impact, we partner with institutions from other places. And hence, we established the Global Youth University Institute, which aims to become Asia's leading youth leadership education and research hub. The Institute will host a wide variety of leadership development programs and deliver original research and evaluation studies. Although the Institute is officially launched today, it has actually been working since 2013 in providing cross-border interdisciplinary leadership programs for students from Hong Kong, the Chinese mainland, and other countries. We have worked with Peking University, Xi'an Jiao Tong University, Ewha Women's University in offering joint programs. Kyoto University will be joining as a partner in a joint program later this summer. At this summit, we have student leaders from 13 countries. When I look out, I can see many young people, and I can tell that they are from different parts of the world. But to be exact, 13 countries are represented. And they come from 22 universities. They'll be sharing how they apply their knowledge and skills to address some of today's pressing challenges. I trust that their presentations will be thought-provoking, and I certainly encourage all of you to take this advantage to learn from one another as much as possible. We have many friends and partners joining us today. I hope you will be impressed with our collective effort and will continue to support the work of this institute in the future. And together, we can do great things and make the world a better place for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Tong. Now, may I invite Professor Daniel Shek, Associate Vice President, Undergraduate Program of PolyU, to deliver the launching remarks for us. Professor Shek, please.
President Tong, Professor Lee, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, students. I'm very pleased to share with you about two things. The first one is what are our core beliefs about youth leadership. And the other thing is, what do we expect are the attributes of successful leaders? Okay? Now, regarding the core beliefs, actually, we have 7. It seems to be a very long list, but actually it is simple. Now, the first core belief is that we believe that every young person is and can be a leader. Do you believe in this? Do you believe in this? Yes, very good. Give yourself a big round of applause, okay? Because we believe that every young person has potentials. But at the same time, the second core belief is that before leading other people, lead yourself. Okay, so I always ask my students, when do you sleep at night? So don't tell me that it's 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and then you cannot come to class at 8:30. Okay, so before leading other people, you need to lead yourself, learn self-discipline. The third core belief, we need to nurture oneself, okay, what we call intrapersonal competence. If we look at Confucian thoughts, he got a very good saying. Before you can bring harmony to the universe, you ought to learn how to govern a nation. And before you can govern a nation, you should learn to manage a family. And before you can manage a family, you have to cultivate yourself. And before you can cultivate yourself, you should have a pure heart. So we believe in personal development, intrapersonal competence. And of course, the fourth belief is that besides inner development, we need to establish relationship with other people. Building relationship, conflict management, working together with other people. And of course, as President Tong has just said, we believe that we can develop leadership through serving other people, especially those with needs. And then the last 2 core beliefs, we believe that we can develop programs that can unleash the potential of young people. And finally, we believe that we need evidence-based leadership programs. That is, not just everybody having fun. We need to assess the outcome, and we ought to have evaluation. So these are the 7 core beliefs within PolyU. We believe that youth leadership should be heading. And based on that, we got 5 attributes we really expect young people to have if they say that they are leaders. The first one is social responsibility. Okay? President Tong has just said, we have to serve the society. We're the more privileged group. We got the opportunity to study in universities. And then the next question is, what is our responsibility to the people who are in need? So social responsibility, the first one. The second thing is excellence. Now, we're not just talking about academic excellence. We really expect young people to excel in different areas, including, as I said, intrapersonal development and also interpersonal development. The third one is a good leader is one who can reflect. That is, always can step back and think, what should I do? What have I done? Have I done anything good or bad? Reflective, okay? And then another thing is vision. As a youth leader, we are not just chasing after fame, money, achievement. We should have vision about ourselves, our university, our community, and even the whole mankind. That is what is our vision. I just read an article saying that we got 10 global challenges, including climate change, unemployment, the widening rich and poor gap, etc., etc. So what is the role of ourselves? So we need to be visionary. And then finally, ethical leadership, ethics. If you don't understand this, a very simple analogy would be, under the industrial economy, we are learning how to do things right, okay? We follow procedures. But in contemporary world, the service economy, we're asking a question, are we doing the right things? So it is not just doing things right. We're asking, doing the right thing. And doing the right thing actually involves ethics, okay? So we can say that if we look at all these 5 aspects and take the first letter, it becomes the word serve. So actually it is our belief, it is our model that we want to nurture leaders through serving other people, okay? So here we got a very simple video. Is it okay? Yeah. The serve model of PolyU. Huh? Sit down. Great. So let us learn to be leaders through the serve model. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Shek. Please stay. To mark this special occasion, may I also invite Professor Timothy Tong, Professor Hao Li, and Professor Angelina Yun to come to stage for the launch ceremony.
We would also like to invite our youth leaders from over 35 nations who are holding flags of the nations right here to join this unique moment on stage. Also, in your welcome bag, you will find a small paper globe which you can float together with us. 3, 2, 1.
So Hillary, you mentioned that PolyU and the Institute do not only support and develop global leaders of PolyU, but also youth leaders from around the world. And I know that here today, there are youth leaders from over 22 universities to share with us their projects and experience on using social entrepreneurship to tackle global and social issues.
That's so right. And in this session, we are happy to have youth leaders of Hong Kong, Belgium, and the Netherlands for presentations. May I now invite this session's chair, Professor Dongmin Chen of Peking University, to host the session for us. Professor Chen, please.
It's my great pleasure to be here today and to have the opportunity to enjoy Professor Hao Li's distinguished lecture. It is also my privilege to chair this special session on social entrepreneurship. First, I wanted to congratulate PolyU for launching the Global Youth Leader Institute. This is another testimony that PolyU is a leader in service learning and global leadership education. Peking University is proud to be a partner, and we were privileged to co-host with PolyU last year's Global Youth Leader Summit on our campus under the very well-known Beijing Forum. Social innovation and entrepreneurship have become a very important part of higher education in today's rapid changing world. Over the past decades, younger generation has contributed enormously to the technology, innovation, and entrepreneurship, from PC computer to internet, from mobile to cloud computing, and now continue to robotic and AI technologies. The younger generation has also been able to enjoy the share of the financial benefit as a result of these technology advancement. While technology advancement has created huge economic impact, it also introduced new social stress and in some cases, social conflict. Not just in developing countries, but also in developed nations, as the wealth distribution now is shifting towards educated fraction of the younger generation. Social innovation and entrepreneurship is an effective tool that we can and must leverage to bring about innovative solutions to these new social challenges, to reduce disparity and to build an inclusive and harmonious society. And together, we can make the world a better place. Indeed, this new movement is well underway now, thanks to the program like Global Youth Leadership. And this morning, we have representatives of 3 students' leadership teams to share with us their journey of social entrepreneurship. First, Eva Wang from PolyU. Eva Wang is a co-founder of We Do Global. She is passionate about cross-cultural communication and social entrepreneurship. Eva has represented Hong Kong to participate in the executive program for social entrepreneurship with leaders from 16 countries at Stanford University Graduate School of Business in 2017. Eva believes in people from different culture backgrounds can live in peace and harmony. She envisioned to cultivate Hong Kong with cultural diversity. So let's welcome Eva Wang, please.
Hello, everyone. I'm Eva from Hong Kong, and then I co-founded the social enterprise We Do Global in 2011, and now it has been the 5th year since we established. And today I'm very honorable to be invited to this event because I can share with you all our passion and also our vision to create Hong Kong and become a more multicultural city. So I'm the alumni of the Hong Kong Polytechnic University, and at the same time I study in Stanford University, which bring me to connect with global leaders around the world to share the same value for global good. So when I started, you may wonder why I start so early when I just graduated from university. Actually, it starts with a story. So the story begins in the university. So one of my Nepalese friends is on his first day of master degree. So he's very happy and it is a sunny day. He's finding the office. So he just asked one student, and one friendly student answered, "Oh, I can show you the way, let's go." And then that student asked my friend, "You don't look like Chinese, where are you from?" My friend said that, "Oh, I'm from Nepal." But the second question he got is, "Oh, Nepal, are you coming to interview for the security guard?" I feel so shocked when I hear this story. I can't imagine in Hong Kong, such an international city, that this thing can actually happen. And how come we as Hong Kongers can ignore this? Because every time when we talk about we want to change the world, we want to really have the impact to the world, maybe we will think about other countries and we can help other countries. But how about our place? What can we do to our place to actually make it a better place here in Hong Kong? And I remember like when I was studying in school, this is actually one of the photos of the textbook. You can see that if you are a Filipino, but no offense here, maybe you will be the domestic worker in Hong Kong. And if you are from Indonesian, maybe you will work unlimited hours to debt bondage. So these textbooks actually not revealing racial harmony, but actually they are enhancing the racial discrimination and also racial perception. So also media generate bad images and stereotypes on race, like on ethnic minorities here in Hong Kong. To give you like a brief concept about what we are doing, We Do Global is a platform, and we try to co-create a different journey with ethnic minority groups in Hong Kong so that they can have a more empowering life and also they can actually tell their story to others. So we provide multicultural workshop, walking tours, and also overseas tours, so that to start from local, we can connect locally and also connect to the global world to make global citizens around the world. To give you a brief concept of what is ethnic minority means in Hong Kong, actually it means non-Chinese. But for Hong Kong government, it will reveal that it is usually those who are underprivileged. So usually they're South Asians from Pakistan, India, and also Nepal. And you may wonder, wow, actually this graph, what is the percentage of ethnic minorities in Hong Kong? It is around 6.4% of the whole population. And it's a very simple concept. If you see a minibus in Hong Kong, it is 16 seats, and one of them will be the ethnic minority. So to conclude some of the social issues faced by local ethnic minorities, actually they have high poverty rates when comparing to the local Chinese. For Pakistani households, they even face the most severe poverty rates of over 51%. And also, according to the Racial Harmony Report by Unison in 2012, actually their acceptance level is relatively lower than local Chinese, around 15% lower in different aspects, including whether you want them to be your neighbor, whether you want to study with them, or even you want to work with them. So you can imagine how hard it is if you are an ethnic minority living in Hong Kong, that you cannot find a job and you may have dropped out in school, and also you even cannot find a place to live. Also, researchers from Education University reveals that the problem is actually related to cultural barrier and also language barriers, so that they are not very integrated to the society. And we actually did a lot of different tours, and before the tour, we'll evaluate the students, how they think about ethnic minorities first. And actually, they think that they're not friendly, they're unconcerned, or they don't even like Hong Kongese. So they think that they're just a group of separate people living outside, or living in Hong Kong, but they seem outsider. But how can we change this phenomenon? We Do Global aims to bring in direct dialogues so that we can provide help and assistance to teachers so that they do not have a burden in school, but they can try to bring their students, and then they can really engage in the community to understand about different culture and their limitations. So there's a little video here. It's okay, because tomorrow we'll have the social enterprise tour in Sam Shui Po and also Wan Chai. So you can direct experience the tour together. And after the survey, actually, after they join the tour, they find out that ethnic minority groups in Hong Kong, they're very friendly and they try to engage to the local society, and they're working very hard to change the views of people on them. So together we can make a change in the world. And then they also learned that usually in classroom, they only have the surface learning, like a surface learning, that they only learn very little about the ethnic minorities. But after the tour, they can actually make friends with them and also try to think about what afterward actions they can do to change this phenomenon in Hong Kong. To conclude what I share, actually, first of all, is why you did what you did. Because when I'm in university, I learned from PolyU that to apply and to learn and to apply for the benefit of mankind. So this is one of the vision we try to apply when I graduate from school. So we try to care about the community and try to, first of all, think why we do what we do. Afterwards, it is about empathy. Like Professor Howley actually said that empathy is the first step, but don't only look at one thing or only listen to one people. So we try to do different research and try to work with the community so as to engage them in the process of development, so that we can connect with different shop owners and also connect with different school teachers from the minority groups, so that we understand their true need. And afterwards, we can co-design and co-execute the programs together, so that it can involve different opinions from different ethnic groups in Hong Kong. And third one is the determination, because during this process of social enterprise, actually determination is very important to let you move forward. Because if you don't have the determination whether what is right and what is wrong, it is very hard for your organization to go forward. And last but not least, open to opportunities, because there's always new things to learn. And I remember one student asked, like, if later for the agriculture, there's other new innovation means that you can replace your social enterprise, then how do you do? Actually, at that point, I really think that it is about how you can grow together with your social enterprise. If you can grow with the social enterprise together and solve the problem continuously, you will find out new problems, and problem is born to be solved. Thank you very much for today's, and if you have any questions, feel free to connect with me in Facebook, and also my email is here, so feel free to connect with me later. Thank you.
Next, we have Frederick Rossler and Adam Schuld from the Netherlands. They are both from Rotterdam School of Management, Erasmus University. Frederick believes in people and teams. He is an innovation enthusiast who is currently building the new world first crowdsourced technology school. Adam is his partner working on outreach and innovation at Restart Network. He collaborates with technology industrial leaders to organize master classes, in-house days, and development activities. Let's welcome Frederick and Adam to the stage.
Thank you so much for having us, guys, in your beautiful city. We're really excited to be here to share our vision for the world's first crowdsourced technology school that we're building. We're busy in Rotterdam, that is far away in the Netherlands. I'm Frederick, this is my colleague Adam. And over the past 12 months, there were really two things in Europe, in Holland, that inspired us to action, two big problems. The first one is that there's a big refugee crisis going on right now, and Europe is really battling with the repercussions. There are more refugees living in the world today than there were during the Second World War. Let me repeat that. More refugees living in the world today than there were during the Second World War. And this is the number of people, 1.5 million, that came to Europe and that have to start a new life. And they face problems finding jobs due to discrimination, due to language barriers. They cannot translate their skills to the market. And there's another big problem that might come as a surprise to you here in Asia. There is a lack of qualified IT professionals. So there's so many jobs, there's so much work in IT, but there are not enough skilled people to fill these jobs. This is a number, 900,000, estimated by the European Commission by 2020. So we have to act fast. And then we thought, could we not combine these two problems and maybe create an opportunity? So we thought, why not teach refugees programming? We wanted to show that refugees can make our community stronger. And we engaged our local community and created a crowd. And over the past 12 months, we started campaigns and we raised funds, close to 100,000 euros, to make this happen, to create a new one-year program to teach refugees programming. But this is not everything. We didn't stop here. So next to raising cash contributions, we started knocking on the doors of the world's biggest technology companies, the Microsofts, the Facebook, the Googles, and we asked their employees, do you want to join us in this mission? Do you want to donate your time in the classroom and teach with us? And the response is yes. So today in class, every week we have developers, the world's smartest engineers from companies like Facebook, coming into our class and sharing their knowledge. And it is truly the school I wish I'd went to. So imagine instead of having teachers who give PowerPoint presentations, you have the world's smartest engineers next to you who teach you how they go about their work. Instead of learning only from books, you go through a digital curriculum and you solve real-world problems and learn through that. And instead of having the size of your wallet dictating your education, this is all tuition-free, because money should not determine the quality of your education. And I'm really excited to share a story of one of our students with you. So what do these students look like? Where are they from? So about 60% are from Syria. There are people from African countries like Eritrea, Ethiopia, and other 20% from countries like Iraq, Yemen, who all want to start a new life in Europe. And this here is the story of Naras, who had fled the army in Syria to look for new opportunities. And his first step, this is a journey in 6 steps that he made. He went from Syria to Lebanon to Beirut. He got a fake name. He went to Algeria, to Libya. By boat, he crossed the ocean, the Mediterranean Ocean. It's a survival rate of about 50%. You're crammed into a very small boat with 50 or even 100 people. In Italy, he got a fake passport. He went to the Netherlands and stayed in a center for about 1 or 2 years before he could really start and got his asylum and start looking for work. In March, he started with us, enrolled in our school, and after 3 months, he found a job as a full-stack web developer. And there are common values that all of the students and the entire team at Restart incorporate and that we live by. And Adam is going to talk more about these.
Thanks, Fred. And thank you, everyone, for having us here. My name is Adam, and I'm working on innovation at Restart Network. And I'm going to tell you about the social values that reinforce and kind of lay the foundation of why we do what we do. The first one is an inclusion. We try to work towards an inclusive society where anyone has the opportunity to succeed, no matter who they are, where they are born, or how big their wallet is. Second, we promote empowerment. We empower our students with all the skills they need to succeed in the tech industry and change their lives. And lastly, we promote fair employment practices by working with our hiring partners to emphasize diversity in teams, and the outcomes are incredible. All good. Thanks. So, I'm going to talk a bit about our stakeholders, and underlying this is the 5-win model. And this is the idea that in what we do, everyone that's involved wins. So first, we have the community. We've built a thriving tech hub that engages with the community in various types of events and media channels. People come in and teach. The public comes in and sees our students graduate and sees the success of our students. Second, we have the local government. In an effort to promote re-education and integration, the local government collaborates with us to source students and fund their scholarships, which I'll get to in a sec. Third, we have the industry. As Fred already said, we invite the industry's brightest minds to come and teach in our classroom and talk about what they love. They come in and they talk about their passions, and the smiles that they leave with are incredible. Beyond that, we also provide the industry with top tech talent. Our students are just as good as any other developer and succeed in teams. And the team, it's pretty easy to explain, and you all as aspiring social entrepreneurs understand, but I want to give you an example. So this summer, we have a tech entrepreneur from Silicon Valley whose company was acquired by Dropbox in 2014. He came over, he flew in, and he's leading a class for 2 months, completely on a volunteer basis, just because he loves everything that's happening at Restart Network. And finally, the students, which is also pretty straightforward. We empower them with all the skills they need to succeed. There we go. Moving on to the revenue model, which kind of symbolizes how we fund what we do. So basically, we subsidize 5,000 euros per student in order for them to go through the Restart program. This funding is drawn from two different sources. First, we have the industry. In return for providing top tech talent to tech companies, we take recruitment fees from our hiring partners. This recruitment fee is 5,000 euros, and it allows 2 students to continue or to go through the Restart program in return for 1 student being hired. And second, we have government-funded scholarships from our local municipality. They fund 2,500 euros per student in an effort to promote integration and inclusion in the Rotterdam environment. The remaining money is used to grow our impact. And within 2 years, Restart Network in Rotterdam will be a completely financially independent hub. We're gonna make this happen with the help of foundations and impact grants. And after that, we can talk about scalability. So we believe that in order to scale, we first have to solve our problems locally. And we've developed a model to do that. Firstly, we meet the demand for IT professionals by providing top tech companies with tech talent. Not only talented developers, but also from diverse and global perspectives. Second, we offer a scalable model to tackle societal issues that promote integration and inclusion in societies on a global basis. And lastly, we build communities and bring people together in order to create a world-class education that changes lives. And here's what we're proud of. To date, with an operation time of 1 year, we have successfully graduated 33 students. These are 33 individuals that have gone through our program, of which 62% are continuing a career in information technology or are pursuing an IT-related educational program. We have 20+ companies from top tech firms that have expressed an interest in hiring our students. I want to say that Restart Network has been made possible with the support of governments, municipalities, industries, communities, creatives, and countless others. Together, we have shown that we've created a model where no matter who you are, where you are born, or how much money there is in your wallet, you can succeed. Thank you.
Julie Desmet from the Netherlands, Maastricht University, and her partner Louise Wouter from Belgium, KU Leuven. Julie has become passionate about global issues in her early life, and she's currently studying governance and leadership in European public health, and have been committed to AFD, stands for Academy for Development, for the past 2 years. And she's now a vice president of the governing board of AFD Belgium. Her partner, Louise, has a bachelor degree in economics and being enrolled in master in economics. He studied at the AFD 3 years ago as a project manager, led the executive board of AFD in Leuven, and currently preside the governing board of AFD also in Belgium. Let's welcome Julie and Louise.
Wonderful. Hello, everyone. First of all, thank you very much for having us here. I think I can speak in the name of the two of us that we're very excited to be here and to hear all your interesting stories and experiences. We are Julie Desmet and Louis Wouters from Belgium, respectively studying at Maastricht University and the KU Leuven, as introduced earlier. And we're happy to introduce you today to Academics for Development, shortly AFD. So why are we here? Because we believe in youth. Just like everyone here today, we believe that youth has every potential to solve and tackle major global problems, but only if they have the tools at their disposal, if they get the right support to create and to develop the right skills they need. I believe that a lecture from Professor Lee would definitely be a good start, but that's where AFD comes in. So it was about 4 years ago that we noticed that students are actually looking forward to change their theoretical knowledge, to put it into practice, and that they want to gain international experience. It was that we noticed that the developing world is looking for sustainable solutions for daily life problems. And we saw that the business world was looking to, or was realizing the interest of serving the bottom of the pyramid and getting into contact with these high potentials. We saw that this demand was, where we come from, not fulfilled. And it's on that we jumped with AFD. So, in that story, we're not alone. Since the very, very start, we have received the support from Luc Sels, which is the Dean of the KU Leuven and next Chancellor of the university, who have supported us and have served as a mentor in our process. We see that in all our branches where we represent it, close cooperation with universities is actually one of the major assets that our partners value. Step by step, we also get involved in the broader public debate on social entrepreneurship and development cooperation. Earlier this month, we led a session we co-organized with the European Commission and the World Bank at the European Development Days, where we spoke about youth leadership and achieving the United Nations 2013 agenda. So I think that this kind of shines a light on the broader context in what we operate, but what we do now. I think our main activities can be structured in exactly 3 pillars. Our core business is organizing year-long student consultancy projects. Secondly, we organize events which are open for the broader public. And thirdly, we have developed a social entrepreneurship track, which is called Bright Minds, in which we select students, they form a think tank, and during one academic year, they critically think out of the box on concepts such as equality, sustainable fashion, digital transformation, and so on, and so on. Let's get a bit deeper, make it a bit more concrete, these 3 pillars. So our core business is organizing projects, year-long consultancy projects that we do not create ourselves. They are submitted by NGOs, by 4th pillar organizations, by multinationals, but also entrepreneurs from the global south. According to the needs of each and one of these projects, we then select students to form groups, students from different faculties and backgrounds, to form a multidisciplinary team of about 5 to 6 students who work during one academic year, about 10 to 12 hours a week in the cities where we're active. During that period, they get support from professional coaches, from our corporate partners, and from the project partners with whom we work. The project partners is always locally embedded to make sure that from the beginning of the preparation, the students focus on the real needs of the local communities they're serving. After that preparation period, the students go to the Global South. They go to their project country to actually implement the work they have been working on. This is about a period of 6 to 8 weeks, because we believe that to make lasting, sustainable impact, people should be there together with the local community to actually work for a period of about 6 to 8 weeks to make such an impact. On these pictures, in the previous slides, just as an example, on the left-hand side, you see one of our students working on our own solar technology startup in Senegal, in rural Thiès. And on the right-hand side, you see a picture of a workshop students gave in Zambia, which was a theater workshop as part of a more educational project. So as you can hear, our projects cover a wide variety of topics, but still they can be attributed to about 4 pillars, which go from agriculture and food, to energy, to finance and legal, to educational empowerment. Over the last 4 years, we have implemented and organized about 38 projects in over 20 countries spread all over the world. To become now a bit even more sustainable, we try to work for over multiple years with the same partners, increasingly to make sure that the work that is performed by a team during one academic year is followed up by another team in the next year. So that's about pillar 1. Pillar 2 is the events that we organize. Events ranging from lecture series to interactive workshops to panel debates in order to make sure that topics linked to development cooperation, linked to social entrepreneurship are put into the spotlight again in the communities where we live. Now, I'm very glad to pass the floor to Julie to explain a bit more about our third pillar.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everyone. Professor Howley was very right. You can feel the energy here, the youth, the enthusiasm. But I'm here to present the third pillar of AFD, which is called the Bright Minds Program. And with this pillar, we actually wanted to meet a certain demand, because we noticed that in the student community in Belgium, there are a lot of students who are more and more questioning the way our world is working today. They question why climate change is not more of a priority to our governments. They wonder about youth unemployment. After all these years of development cooperation, why haven't we yet eradicated poverty, and so on. So with these critical questions, AFD wanted to do something. We wanted to meet this demand, and therefore we created the Bright Minds program with the quote, "Great minds think alike, but bright minds think further." So with the Bright Minds program, we wanted to reach exactly these young, critical, curious, ambitious students, these bright minds actually, and we wanted to take them on a year-long adventure. It's kind of a trek. But because we wanted the threshold to participate to be very, very low, every student is welcome. There's no special expertise or experience needed in social entrepreneurship. And we designed it as a sort of a think tank in which we organize all sorts of events and activities on a regular basis. We had book club sessions on the book of Günter Pauli on the blue economy. We worked with John Restakis on the circular economy. We had events based on sustainable fashion, poverty, etc. We did excursions to cooperatives in Belgium as well. So it's a very low threshold program to introduce a lot of students to the concept of social entrepreneurship. And we want them to question further the current ecological, economic and business models. We want them to we challenge them to think about them and to analyze whether alternative models exist. And if so, why are we not yet implementing them? So we want to really make them reflect, these bright mind students. And more so, because we at AFD, we believe that societal challenges actually present an opportunity for companies to innovate. Just like Frederick, Eva, and Adam saw an opportunity in a societal challenge, we as well believe that societal challenges should be seen as an opportunity, and we believe that youth has a very open perspective to this and has an advantage in seeing opportunities in challenges. So that's why we together with the students, we explore the future of business thinking. We explore what the next business models could look like. Is business transforming, and how so? So we really take them on an adventure, and we equip them with the right tools and skills to see these opportunities, to be able to become a successful workforce later on in life, and to create shared value. So we want students in their future workforce or in their careers, whether this is as an entrepreneur or an intrapreneur or whatever, we really want them to really create shared value in everything they do. So addressing societal needs, and all the while also creating competitive advantage and enhance competitiveness, economic competitiveness. So this is the Bright Minds program. We just piloted it last year, and it has attracted a lot of positive attention. We've seen Mohamed Yunus, a very renowned social entrepreneur himself, and founder of the Grameen Bank as well. And he developed this program kind of together with us. So on this slide, you see the situation and the cities and universities in which AFD is currently embedded in. Our young organization was founded 4 years ago in Leuven, in Belgium, after which the second branch in Louvain-la-Neuve, also in Belgium, quickly followed. And then the year after, we were approached by a very ambitious student in Utrecht, wondering if AFD had opportunities or plans to go to Netherlands, which we, of course, encouraged very much so. So AFD became an international organization. And today we're very proud to say that our youngest branch has been set up in Stellenbosch, South Africa. And Louis will be continuing his studies next year in South Africa to ensure the continuity of this initiative over there as well. And our big aim So the big dream of AFD is to eventually have inter-university collaboration. So both sides of the hemisphere, both hemispheres, or both sides of the equator, or south-south collaborations, north-north. We want universities to really work together on social impact projects, because we believe this will advance the sustainable development of a lot of economies worldwide, but also really be of a personal development to students themselves. So this exchange will be of an incredible value to the world. So, to conclude, just like everyone else here at this unique International Youth Conference, we believe in youth, and we believe if you put youth and social entrepreneurship together, that we can create a better world for all, and make this world a better place. So, to all these young social entrepreneurs in the room, unlock your full potential and have a lot of social impact. Thank you very much.
Thanks for all three teams that have made a great presentation. Let's give another round of applause. We now have about 20 minutes for question and answer. So maybe I'll lead the first question, and then I'll open up to the audience. You have all overcome the very first challenging step and established your social entrepreneurship project. But this morning we have heard from Professor Hao Li that ultimately entrepreneurship is about building a social enterprise, not just a project. To sustainable entrepreneurship in social entrepreneurship probably is even harder than to get it off the ground. And Professor Hao Li teaches us about these tricks by using the 3S model, substitution, scaling, and ultimately structured transformation. In terms of scaling, she taught us about tricks of asking for what, who, and where, and apply 3 flows: information flow, material services flow, and ultimately finance flow. So this is maybe way stretched out beyond your future work. But immediately, let me ask a question. What is the biggest challenge for you to keep your project sustainable and even to scale? Maybe Eva, you can start. Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, so actually we learned a really big lesson during the entrepreneurship journey, because at the start, we actually just tried to do a project with the teachers and then to offer different experience to their students. But afterwards, we find out that only a project is not enough. So that's why we try to liaise with different schools and also secure different alliances during this process. So that's why today, every year we can have over 2,000, 3,000 students joining our program directly, and we can save the cost by having very strong partnerships so that we can directly liaise with all the schools, and we can provide educational tours and workshops to them, and also help them to organize overseas experience trips. So through that process, we can actually collect a lot of data for our social impact measurement so that we can evaluate continuously whether we can achieve our impact or not.
You actually, your project you're probably the only one talk about financial model among the 3 teams, so look more like a company now. And you have succeeded in graduating 33 students, 62 of them are continuing on education, and the company had expressed a lot of interest to hire them. So can you talk about how you can turn this into really a sustainable, scalable model?
Definitely, yeah, thanks. So the biggest challenge is for us to remain operational, give all these classes, because it's a full-time commitment, and all the while also tweaking the business model and making the best of it. Because we've managed to reach some good agreements with companies in sort of a pay-for-success model. So once they take over our interns, students intern in the second half of the program with the companies, once they take them over, they pay us a fee. The challenge for us is to get some of that revenue that is rather at late stage, bring it to the front. So that was also one of the things what Hao Li mentioned. That is sort of the biggest challenge for us. And throughout, there are some really neat tools as social entrepreneurs that you can use to get some cash flow in the beginning, which is, for instance, crowdfunding, which we talked about a lot, which helped us to start.
Okay, how about the Academy for Development program?
Yeah, so our biggest challenge so far, because we are very young and we've now been growing and we're kind of at a tipping point, I feel, with all of these branches or prospects of new branches. And I feel our main biggest challenge is the question on how to keep our identity, how to keep our AFD identity while you go abroad and expand geographically. And that has been a big challenge, and we've done a lot of retreats at AFD and discussed what is AFD, what makes us special, and what is our asset to the partners. And we've come up with a very clear vision and mission, and that always helps, of course. And so with this, we are now confidently going to South Africa and maybe even Hong Kong, who knows. But that was the main challenge, but I'll let Louis talk about our financial model also a bit.
Yeah, maybe to add on that, I think as a response to the need of protecting your identity, what you stand for, because if you grow internationally, it's always values are not received at the same way abroad as you're used to in your own country. That's why we actually developed a whole international structure. So we have executive branches. Executive boards that lead each of the branches where we're active in. Then on the national level, we developed governing boards in which both of us are active in Belgium. And then on the international level, we have a group developed, which is a platform of old alumni, which actually makes sure that between the countries, we actually also maintain strong ties and maintain the values we stand for. So this is kind of in the response to that identity which we see to protect and to preserve in the best way possible.
Okay, Adam, you want to add something to it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we spoke about our funding model because it's really important as a social enterprise, as an organization in general, to sustain yourself, right? If Fred and I, move on and we pursue other things in a career, then Restart Network must stay, right? It doesn't go when we go. It is a sustainable organization that's here for the long run. And to everyone out here that's starting your own project and is working on finding a sustainable business model, it's extremely important that you find a way to balance your incentives with how your stakeholders are winning, right? So if you can guarantee that people that work with you are winning and then value is created, then you can find a way to capture that. So in our method, we found that our students were top developers and they succeeded at tech companies. So why not go to tech companies and say, hey, we provided you with talent and they're doing well, they add value to your teams, then how can we capture that value? So we figured out, okay, they can fund scholarships for our students and keep the organization running. And Fred already mentioned using crowdsourcing and models like Kickstarter and Indiegogo to fund your projects at an initial stage. And then don't forget that there's a lot of money available in the form of impact grants from certain organizations, CSR budgets, and other sort of governmental funds that are out there to bring impact in early stage projects. So yeah, I think money is really important, and as a social entrepreneur, one of the main things you should be concerned about is how to make your organization live on the long run.
Okay, thank you. Now I'm open the floor to the audience who wants to ask a question, give a comment, suggestions. Anyone?
My name is Stephen Wang. I'm currently studying at Queen's University in Canada. So this is a question for the Restart guys. You mentioned on your PowerPoint that 62% of your students move on to an actual IT career. I was just wondering where the other 38% is doing.
Yeah, that's a very good question. So, of course, web development and technology, a career in that field, is something that is not for everyone. So it's a very intense program, and sometimes people go through it, and even though they finish the challenges, they go through it, they realize afterwards they might be better off to continue in their old career with technology being an added value, right? So I always say that technology is not not the goal in itself, but a means to an end. And if you have the tools to create applications that can solve your problems, you're essentially, you have a value added in a lot of professions. But those, yeah, to get back to your question, the remaining percentage, they simply chose to not pursue a career in IT.
So the crowdsourced technology model really focused on IT technology. So it's very focused. On the other hand, the academic for development is more broader, had a broader agenda, right? So it's two different models, right? So we have to see which one. I think in a way the focus is easier, and the broader agenda probably easier to engage a broader resources. But maybe audiences can comment on it.
Hi, my name is Ivan. I'm from residential education, managing programs and beyond the classroom learning. I work with Professor Yoon here. I have a question for We Do Global. I see you've been influenced by some US, Canadian concepts of multicultural diversity, intercultural diversity. How has it been like, I'm curious to know, I've lived in California for 10 years. Wondering how you feel about Hong Kong's situation, mindset on these issues as you're trying to train and sort of de-exoticize the cultures in our midst and the kind of attitudes, beliefs, but as well as the skills that have been built. So I'm more interested in the educational side perhaps of what you've, and maybe some of the success that you've seen qualitatively. What have you seen so far in your program, in your new organization?
Thank you for your question. Actually, along these years, we have shown a gradual improvement in the cultural understanding among students. And how we capture these changes is actually we are adopting a Donald Kilpatrick model that I think many of students, you can use it in your social enterprise. It is actually try to measure qualitatively and also quantitatively for the results. First of all, we'll gather results of the students' improvement by different aspects, including ASK. So we will develop our KPIs on different aspects like attitude, skills, and also knowledge. And then these are the attitudes that they can be measured. We just gone through another round of the cultural ambassador training. And after the training, actually the participants shown 30% increase in the feeling that they feel they are useful to the society. So that is one of the very key important indicator that they can be more willing to engage to the society, and also they can be try to work to embrace diversity. And also, apart from ASK model, we actually measure the social impact by SROI. So we can, because we are a WISE social enterprise, like work integrated social enterprise, so we employ different ethnic groups to be full-time and also part-time cultural ambassadors. So they can have a career path, and also they can have a career ladder during this process. For example, first of all, after they gone through the training, and then they can be into the transitional job as the cultural ambassador. And after 1 to 2 years training and working experience, they can be employed by other companies or work with us as full-time staff, as project assistant, so that they can hold different projects by themselves and initiate different projects. And one of our very successful case is a girl, Pakistani girl called Mujahida. Actually, she finished the high school, and afterwards, she tried to do different programs like fashion design course, but she cannot find any job. After she trained in We Do Global and as a cultural ambassador, actually it opens up and she can learn about, first of all, her own identity and own culture. Before, she actually didn't aware about her own culture because no one will ask her. And she will think that, oh, it is just some minority culture and it is not the mainstream culture. But we bring out the value that every culture is respected, that she can share her own culture, and then she can learn and can be confident. And afterwards, she can reach different people like corporate staff and also reach teachers, so that she can actually have the reverse impact to change that teacher. And that teacher can actually change her students so that we evaluate students' performance before and after the tours. Yes, thank you.
My name is Tony from SAW program at PolyU. So I have a question to academic development program. So my question is that there are many university organized overseas trips as well, which involve visiting social entrepreneur. So my question is that what makes your program so unique that we need to start up a new program, instead of improving our current programs?
Thank you for that question. That's indeed a very good one. Indeed, a lot of universities have service learning programs and a lot of really good social impact projects as well. What makes us unique is that our students, so we actually nurture social enterprises. We nurture future social entrepreneurs, and we give them a first experience, a very practical international experience in the field, in a safe environment, if that's what you want to call it. So I believe that the academic environment really enriches as both the projects as the future social entrepreneurs, because it links the professors, the academic evidence-based research to the projects. And the projects in the Global South often don't have the resources or capabilities to invest in consultancy, or they have often really burning questions or needs. And by linking the students who are very, very eager and ambitious and want to have this international experience to these project partners in the South, we believe there's magic happening, there's a synergy happening there. And like a lot of consultancy firms and supporting partners also believe in this concept and therefore are supporting AFD to continue this process. And another asset is we work on sustainability. The students work for a full year. They do research and work on their consultancy findings before they go to the location itself. And we also try to work in multi-year projects. So we work with one partner multiple years, which of course helps the sustainability of the whole project. So the long-termness, the sustainability of it all, I believe that's our main asset, actually. And with this, we create a lot of social businesses everywhere.
By giving the chance to students to actually go and look for these projects in the South, lobby with organizations, get in contact with companies that actually want to do something good in the world and change the lives of the bottom of the pyramid. I think you not only change the lives of those people who you send to the South, but also those who actually work in our branches on a daily basis with the students itself. So it's run for students, but also run by students, which is probably a major difference with the programs by a university. I think the main point is here that we always start from existing university cooperations between universities, and there is a preferential agreement between the KU Leuven, the university where we started, and Stellenbosch. So it was about 1.5 years ago that we took up contact with professors at Stellenbosch University, and then last year it was me and a colleague who just took the plane, went to Stellenbosch in South Africa, and went to meetings for about 14 days, and actually met also students who were interested in starting something there. 2 months later, 2 students from the Social Representative Council flew back to Europe to see how we run such an organization in Belgium and the Netherlands. They visit our branches, how we practically run this organization. And then when they returned back, they decided to actually start something themselves as well. It's definitely not that we're open, that we're closed for other corporations. We would even say that we're very much open for more corporations in Africa, because we see the high potential now, which we can start collaboration on projects with students from Belgium, the Netherlands, and South Africa. Now, in about a month, first project will actually start with the same project partner, which is located in Belgium and Europe, on which students in South Africa will work. And 2 months later, also a project team in Belgium and the Netherlands will start on the same project with the same partner working on this. So I think this cultural enrichment is a high added value there. And so we are definitely open to further discuss this, maybe over lunch. Thank you.
Thank you very much. In the interest of time, we have to stop the discussion here. But our discussion just began. In fact, we will continue this afternoon And tomorrow you will have a lot of networking, social networking opportunities with all the students, with the speaker presenter here. So I encourage you to seek each other and continue this a very important conversation. I think I wanted to remind all the audience this morning we have listened to a great lecture, Professor Hao Lee's lecture, and the point that she gave, all the tips she gave, will help your enterprise to go a long way. So when you run into trouble, just come back and look at his slides. And as a professor teaching innovation entrepreneurship, I have learned tremendously this morning, and I had to go back and digest myself. So I think that we should do all social entrepreneurship is actually very, very hard. We do so because it's hard, not because it's easy, and that's the value. That's the value of this Global Youth Leadership Summit. And I wish all you best of luck and keep working on what you believe in. Also, I want to thank all the audience for participation and ask all the excellent questions. So let's have a round of applause. So as we are moving out of stage, I want to invite Vice President Yuan to come up and to give a summary for this morning's program.
I'm not giving a summary. I'm just giving a thank you. And I think I'm really amazed and I'm really awed by all these excellent sharing among the students. And of course, Professor Lee has given an excellent speech, which even though I'm aged, but I think I still learn so much and I still want to do something to follow my vision and do something that impact on the world. Thank you very much, Hao, and I'll give him the last word. And then for the students, I think we have this morning we have sharing from free groups. And then I think what I learned from them is that you can start from a dream. You just have to have a dream, and you have to have your vision, and you just follow your dream and gradually build on that. And through this process, you can find your partners, your colleagues, your friends that are like-minded with you, and then you can grow your dream, and then you can impact on the world. You can see that they start with a little seed, with a little dream, but you can see that they are impacting on the world. I'm so amazed. Eva has been doing so much work in Hong Kong and helping the ethnic minority group to have their voices heard in the Hong Kong society. And I'm really proud that we have such a good alumni. And I think this is something that needs to be done because we always complain about the lack of concern for our ethnic minority. And now she's doing something with a little dream. And then actually she said that she was shocked when people were saying that, unfriendly sentence. And then she started her journey. And so I think we can start our journey. And the other two groups across the border, building their associations into cross-border projects and making such a lot of difference. And you are, the group on what was the name of that? WeCode. You are helping the refugees to learn IT and helping them, empowering them so that they can make a living. But I think more importantly, they can gain back their identity and their sense of respect. And they have a position in their society. And also about the academic, the Restart Network, you are helping students to pursue their dream. Not every single universities have programs on service learning. So I think they are helping, empowering students so that they can link together and serve society. And I think just now I was talking to Margie, we're saying that in our old days, students are, we just study and, so boring. But now it seems that students are following the dream and you are able to change the world. And I hope that you can learn from these experiences and follow your dream and be, pragmatic and, step by step, and gradually you will go somewhere. And the theme of today is let's make the world a better place. And I think together we can. And this afternoon, we still have 20 sessions, 20 presentations of different students from all across the world sharing about their projects on how they make a difference in their respective countries. And on poverty alleviation, on sustainability, etc., etc. And you can go to the Innovation Tower. Even some of you might not have registered, but you can come and share and network. And I'm hoping, as in the beginning, we hope that this will become a community of dreamers, that we come together and share our dreams, and we can network together, and do things together. When we connect together, we can make greater impact. And we hope that this Global Youth Leadership Institute that we're launching today, will become a hub whereby you can gather together. We hope that this hub will become an annual event. And then the SURF model, you are going to have this in your pack. The SURF model, meaning social responsibility, excellence, reflection, vision, and ethics. This will be the core value that all of us share, I hope. And finally, before we go for our lunch, I would like to invite Professor Hao Li to say a few words to us, some encouragement. And I really have to thank him. He flew in yesterday night, and he's flying out tonight. I think he has a conference before and a conference afterwards. But he comes because he said that he liked to be with young people, and he would like to give encouragement and advice to you. So thank you, Hao.
Well, thanks very much. These type of conferences and this type of gathering, the supporting cast is me, and supporting cast is Professor Yun and Professor Xiu. The main cast, the characters, are the students, you guys, because I can see that the energy and the visions and the ideas and the excitement that you have expressed is way more than what we can share. But still, this morning, as Margie first started talking about the importance of the talent chain, right? The talent chain. So she mentioned that I am a researcher in supply chain, but the most important part of the chain is talents. And I truly believe that this is the talent chain. As many of the organizations that we heard, you are building a talent chain, because the people that you work with, like Eva said, that the Pakistani girl who went out, and they are part of your talent chain, because they also in turn would influence others. And all the organizations, whether it's the IT crowdsourcing or working with the refugees or working with the other type of restart program, etc., you are touching many lives, and all of those become your ambassadors, and they become part of your talent chain. You all form a talent chain together, and together the whole world will be very different because of the power of this talent chain. So the talent chain and the talent network that we have today is a starting point, and again, I feel very privileged and excited to be part of this talent chain. I'm the oldest of all these talent chain, perhaps, but still we can learn from each other. And today we are building a better future because of this network. So congratulations and thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor Lee, and thank you, everyone. This morning, in just a few hours, we already have listened to very inspiring talk by Professor Hao Li, witnessed the launch of our institute, and also experienced the social entrepreneurship journeys with our youth leaders. So now comes to the end of the morning session of our Global Youth Leaders Summit 2017. We would like to express our sincerest thankfulness to everyone for participating in the event this morning. Hey, Hillary, are you free in the afternoon?
I'm afraid I'm not available, sorry. I need to join the afternoon session of the summit at PolyU's Innovation Tower. There will be 19 youth leaders' presentations from 13 countries, sharing with us on poverty alleviation and sustainable community. Would you like to join me?
Oh, sure, but when and where is it?
Registration starts at 1:30, the third floor of the Innovation Tower. The session will commence at 2 p.m. sharp. You have the map in your summit book. See you there.
And we would like to also invite all of you to participate in the afternoon session at the Innovation Tower with us. Thank you again for coming, and we hope to see you again soon.